it's Amber Love, and sorry for all the break in programming, but I've had the wonderful pleasure of guesting on a bunch of other shows, including Comic Book Club live over at the People's Improv Theater in New York City. That was a very incredible experience, being in front of a live audience like that. So I hope those guys post the video that had been streaming and get it up on YouTube, because I would love to see just how bad I was. But anyway, I was joined by the guys at Pronto Comics, which are great guys. I love them. So I've also survived yet another Wild Pig Con, and this time I even had a slightly different experience where I actually went the day before the show, the night before, and I was joined by the CGS gang and everybody from Wild Pig, and we sorted through all of the comics, because what happens is throughout the year, Wild Pig owner Chris is acquiring comics, and those need to then get filed into the white boxes that are already established. So it was grueling hours of alphabetizing, and it seems like that's easy work, but that's kind of like what I do at the comic shop a lot of times anyway. And you get really focused, and you forget that there's like people all around, and next thing you know, you're screaming because, wait, I already finished the E's. Why are there more E's piling up? Just stupid shit. And but anyway, it's a lot of fun, and Danielle and Bill, all those guys, they're so much fun to hang around with. So then we actually had the show, which was phenomenal. It was so great being in the new hotel. We were at the Holiday Inn in Somerset, New Jersey this time, and the banquet room was so much bigger. You never ever felt like you were claustrophobic in there at all. The 501st was there, and it was amazing. They had Tusken Raiders. They had all different characters this time. So it was just interesting seeing so many different costume designs. And these guys, at the 501st, they don't hold anything back. They do amazing work. I was there as Modesty Blaze, and I've got pictures up on Facebook.com/Amber Unmasked. And let's see what else happened. I loved seeing the 501st scare the crap out of an old lady as she exited one of the other banquet rooms, and did not expect to see stormtroopers in the hallway. That was fantastic. But I did pick up, of course, I had to get some stash, even though I didn't really need it because my to-read pile is massive. But I picked up the second Darwin Cook outfit book there. That's from the Parker series. And I got Madame Xanadu Volume 3, one of my all-time favorite series. And I do love reading it in trade. So Madame Xanadu, I'm so sorry that they ever canceled that book, because it's just absolutely a shame. I love it. And I picked up 3 sketches in my itty-bitty little sketchbook here. It's so tiny, but I love it. So Fred Chow, Walt Simonson, and Bill Ellis, thank you for my sketches, and, fitting me in there. And, mainly, hey, I got to booth babe for the amazing J.K. Woodward from Fallen Angel, who, was so busy he never even got to look up and say hi to anybody. So, but I was the social butterfly, I guess, of the booth. And it was also great, of course, seeing. I think I've mentioned this before on the show, but I really don't know. I know I've blogged about it at times, but Jamie Hatton and I have known each other for years, and he writes this great webcomic called In His Likeness, which is about to wrap up, and it's been going on for a really long time. So it was one of the first webcomics I ever discovered. And the way that I got to know Jamie is really bizarre. Like, I had written to him as a fan of the webcomic, asking if it was okay if I copied, a strip to blog about it over on LiveJournal, and he was just like, yeah, absolutely, that's phenomenal. And I was just like, oh my God, somebody responded to me. It was back in my early days of trying to cover comics. And then, as it turned out, we had been frequenting the same coffee shop anyway. So I was just like, wait, you're the same Jamie, and hey, small world, we're both from Jersey. So now we run into each other all the time, which is great. And his wife is an amazing burlesque performer, Madison Bartholomew. So I definitely encourage you to look up Jamie Hatton and inhislikeness.com, I believe, which is, it sounds like it sounds like a simple story, but that's kind of why it's hilarious, because they're dots, and it's, yes, dots. They're dots that are meant to represent God and the devil and the internet, Poseidon. I mean, all sorts of fantastical, deities and creatures and whatnot. The 4 horsemen, they'll look like little chess pieces, which I love. They're my favorite part of the story. And it's not religious. It's complete fun and I got a t-shirt as well, so I'll have to be modeling that on one of the other shows. This is my new t-shirt, though, because I'm, sick to death of people reporting images of myself and my friend Victoria over at Facebook, because, hey, sorry, we do what we do, and we're not going to let people tell us to stop. So, that pretty much wraps up everything about Wild Pig. And of course, coming up then in a couple weeks is the CGS Supershow. Now, I will be writing a nice blog about the Supershow and why you should be there, because the Reading, Pennsylvania, let's face it, is not the tourist capital of the East Coast, but Supershow is. You have your New York Comic Con, you have stuff way down south like Heroes and Philadelphia, but the reason that Supershow is great is because it's a lot like Wild Pig in the sense that it's intimate. It's a reasonable sized venue that, it only takes an hour to literally walk the floor. That's not the point, but there's going to be amazing shopping, and you have the chance to talk to anybody that you can imagine. I'm quite sure, I think Mike Norton will be there again, so you can, tell Mike how much you love Battle Pug, and tell him that he needs to invest in higher server capacity, because all of the fans keep going there and crashing it. Let's see, Ape Entertainment, so you can tell Kevin Freeman that how much you love my new story arc of Subculture, the webcomic. And let's see, Tony Moore will be a guest. We've got here, I'll read through some of the special guests: Jeremy Bastian and Tony Moore and Chris Burnham, and of course the amazing Tim Truman. And then, all of the other schleps like me that'll have booths. So Dave Wachter will be there. Tons of people. Fred Chow, definitely, you have to go see Fred, because he's just a bundle of joy in a little Asian package. And, let's see, Wild Pig, I believe, will actually have a booth. So if you missed the Wild Pig sale, then come to Supershow and do your shopping there. And you will just get the most amazing bargains, I promise you. But Supershow is a great place for sketches. So if you are a comic art guru and collector, and whether it's a sketchbook or you like original pages, Supershow is a great place for loading up on that sort of stuff. And then we go, of course, to 3rd and Spruce for 2 nights. It's one of the local pubs. We get the entire 2nd floor. We will be joined by Kirby Crackle this year. So our karaoke has not just taken a step up. It has taken, leaps and bounds up. I can't imagine the opportunity to be doing karaoke with Kirby Crackle. I hope that they'll let me at least stand next to them during Marvelous Girls. Maybe, one can hope. So I think Erica Hesse will probably be there too, so Daniel Corsetto. We'll have definitely plenty of geek girls rocking the joint. Not at all a thing to worry about. So look forward to the blogs there. And if you have any questions about Supershow, you can ask me. I will try to answer them. If not, I'll at least direct you to Peter, who is, the organizer, Peter and Brian and the rest of the guys from CGS. You can always go to cgssupershow.com to find out more. And if you have any questions about anything else and why I have not been around, feel free to ask. Thanks for joining me. Sorry for babbling.